Hello. How are you all? I don't know if I like this ethereal lighting. What the hell kind of lighting is this? Hold, please. Just give me a second. I mean, no matter what I do, this can't be worse than Cemetery Dances live, right? What the hell is going on with that? 1 second. All right, well, that's just as bad. I don't know what's going on. Hello, everybody. What's going on with you? If you could tell, I'm listening to Maiden, but also my nose is really red. I've been dying these last 2 days. I've been dying. So, like, Pizza Giraffe's here. And I didn't say hi to everyone. So, Hans. Who do we got? We got Mike. We got Jason Ray, Hans, Mark, Jason, me, Kyle, Mark, Pizza Giraffe, and Hans. Yeah, thank goodness Jeff adjusted the lighting. It looks like I have a filter on this to make it look such a way, but there's really no artistic stuff going on here. It's just a big mess. But like I said, it can't be worse than what Cemetery Dance put us through. Now, I will say Cemetery Dance, when they did their lives, they were a total dumpster fire. But on the edit, they fixed it all. It looks good. For example, they did a reaction video where they were watching Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. The only thing is, their audience wasn't watching Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. So you just saw Kevin and CW sitting there looking at their screens, and they were off camera. It was like this. Well, they edited it, and they included the video, so that was good. Hello, Stephen Wayne Ellison Jr. is here. I'm going to test the medicinal properties of beers in the valley because, like I said, the last 2 days, I was flat on my back. Sick as a dog. Really, really bad. And producer Jill's like, you're not going live tonight, are you? I'm like, no. And if I do, I'm not going to drink a beer. Here I am. This is some bad quality video. Anyway, this might be a short one tonight. I don't know. It depends on if this Beers in the Valley can patch me up homeopathy style, or if it'll just dull the pain enough for me to keep going. Like Dalton from Roadhouse. Hello, Ron. Good to see you. And Dave, good to see you. And number one's here. Me too, Jeff. Sick for 2 days now myself. I wasn't going to drink tonight either, but said the hell with it and poured a tall one. Yes. You are probably too sick and tired for a good rant. I actually have a rant baked in. And Jason guessed the rant. And I'm doing my newsletter, so this is my plug for the newsletter. You guys, if you are of a mind, go and sign up for my newsletter. The first one's coming out Sunday. And I'd written it, and I had it all done, and my rant was golden. Man, I was like, God, it's going to be the same rant I'm about to give you now. And I was like, oh, this rant is just beautiful. I take down this whole idea, this whole notion that you can't question things, and I eviscerate it for the emptiness it is. And then you know what happened? The file didn't save. I have to rewrite the whole thing. I had to rewrite, and I'm rewriting the whole thing. And you know what? When you got to tap the vein, man. You got to tap the vein. And once you do and you run with it, man, there's nothing that can stop you. But you can't recreate a moment. Oh. What's up, Phil? Good to see you. Jason, good to see you. Big mail day for me. 2 of 3 SST Lansdales, and the new Gene Wolfe horror collection from Sub Press. Christmas in August? I'd say so. Congrats, Ron, for that haul. So yes, my rant was going to be at Midworld, and Christopher's here. I don't know if you guys all know this, but Midworld announced they were doing The Girl with All the Gifts. And that's fine. The art looked beautiful. Now, I had seen parts of the movie, and and so when I saw that cover, I'm like, "Oh, that's beautiful. That's some beautiful art." Christopher, the artist, I forget the last name, Christopher Shy, did amazing work on that. That's a beautiful cover. So I saw the announcement, I'm like, okay, well, it's another book I don't need to buy. Well, with my buying freeze in effect. Anyway, I'm not going to buy it, but it looks beautiful. I'm pumped to get my first Midworld book this week. John dies at the end. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. I wish them all the best. And then about, I don't know, the next time I looked at my email, I had another email from Midworld from Travis. And it said a note about The Girl with All the Gifts. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, what's this? So I open it up, and this is the conversation we all take on when we open things. You just don't have to have it highlighted in a live stream for you. But in that email, he's pissed. He is mad that somebody wrote him an email and said, "Hey, dude, why are you using the actress for the likeness instead of the description in the book?" So the actress is black and the character as described in the book is white. So this customer said, "I'm not going to buy the book. Why are you using the likeness from the character in the movie instead of going to the book?" And even though, by Travis's own admission, this person didn't write anything racist, he didn't even know the race of the person. Travis is like, He came out with that wagging finger. He decided to spank all of us, scold all of us, because, he really hoped it wasn't anything other than cognitive dissonance. That's what he said. And hey, Peter, good to see you. And that's not it at all. But basically, this guy's saying, like, why are you like, okay, so for example, I interviewed Greg Kreutz, who did the art for Psycho, for Suntop's edition of Psycho. Now, if you know about the book and you know about the movie, Norman Bates in the book is a overweight, balding guy. And in the movie, he's a skinny, full head of hair guy, right? And Anthony Perkins looks nothing like Norman Bates in the book. Why Alfred Hitchcock did that, nobody knows. But, that's filmmakers make decisions on movies all the time. And they go their own ways for any number of reasons. But when it came time to illustrate the book, this Greg Kreutz followed the description in the book instead of illustrating Norman Bates. The same thing with Art Werger, who did Godfather. The same thing with Paul Mann, who actually depicted the hotel on the cover of Psycho. He used the descriptions from the book instead of just copying the hotel from the movie, which is iconic. And the list goes on and on and on and on, right? So it's not about race. It's like, this is the book and this is the movie. And now the filmmakers can make all the changes they want. We'll forgive that. Like, that's your creative decision. It's a totally different medium. You have a totally different set of concerns, and go for it, right? Do it. But the book is the book. Like, don't mess with it. What? So if you're reading this book for the first time and you see this girl on the cover and she's obviously a black girl, and you read the description and it's obviously a white girl, you're gonna be like, well, why'd they draw her like that? You're just not gonna know. It's just gonna be stupid. Why did you do that? It's a stupid decision. But my bigger problem isn't that decision. It's like, okay, you make a creative decision. I would love to know why. Why did you favor the movie over the book? Why did you go that route? The only time you do that is if it's a cheap paperback movie tie-in edition that you're selling at the grocery store. That's when you have Jack Nicholson on the cover of The Shining. That's when you have Anthony Hopkins on the cover of Silence of the Lambs. Because it's a movie tie-in and you're trying to market it to the crowd that liked the movie, and it's a totally different crowd. Is that what Travis is going for? He wants to market to the movie fans. but that doesn't make any sense because again, when people read the book, they're going to, if they don't know anything about the movie, they're going to be like, well, what? It's just stupid. And then, but to shut people down and call them racist, I mean, that is just a bridge too far. I don't think you needed to scold the whole world. And it's just super, super annoying. And I think so many people are tired of this. Can we not ask a question? Why are certain things just off limits? You can't ask a question. That's stupid. He didn't share the email from this person who said, I'm not buying the book. I honestly don't even know why the guy wrote I don't know if it was a guy, the gender of the person's not revealed in Travis's email. I don't know why that person wrote the email. I wouldn't even bother. I'd be like, you're doing a special limited edition of Silence of the Lambs and you got Anthony Hopkins illustrated on the cover? No. And the funny thing is, Hannibal Lecter is a white guy. Anthony Hopkins is a white guy. They cast them to look similar, but it's still that exact image of Anthony Hopkins does not belong in the book. And it has nothing to do with your cause. Like, if you're going to have a cause, you're going to die on your high horse. You don't have the higher moral ground. You have a different opinion. And it would have been interesting if he said, hey, look, we favored the actor from the movie instead of the character in the book because of X, Y, or Z. That would have been an interesting conversation. But this person writes the email and says, this person writes an email and says, I don't like that you did this. And Travis says, and the person's like, well, why did you do this? And Travis goes, because you're racist. It's just a stupid non-starter. And it doesn't, and I saw Stephen Dwayne Ellison Jr.'s comment. He was like, any non-whites care to chime in? Yeah, I'd welcome that conversation, of course, but it really doesn't matter the race of the person who thinks this is a stupid decision, because it's a stupid it's a book versus movie debate. It's not a race debate. And that's but so in other words, if people had illustrated Anthony Perkins in Psycho and somebody said, I don't like that decision, why did you go with Anthony Perkins? Nobody would have a cause to say anything, right? Because it doesn't cross racial boundaries. So I just think that shuts everyone down and it doesn't do any good. So that's just annoying to me. And I did want to rant about something other than Cemetery Dance for once. And that was a good opportunity. RA, I'm glad you are here. I hope you are well. My thoughts and prayers with you in, I don't know if you're anywhere near Maui. I know you're in Hawaii. So I don't know where you are in relation to that fire. I'm glad you're here. I'm so sorry for what you're all going through. Yeah, that second email kind of rubbed me the wrong way too. I thought it was an odd choice for a cover, but shrug. Exactly. That's my exact. Actually, I didn't have that reaction because I didn't know that the character in the book was white, right? So when I saw it, I was just like, oh, it's a beautiful cover, not for me. Had I known, I would have done the same thing. I would have been like, why did they do that? That's going to be a weird. Here's what I think the fix should be. If they really love that art and the art is gorgeous and they illustrate Melanie the same way throughout the book, change the race of the character in the book. Why not? How many descriptions of the character are there in the book? If you believe in that change, then just at least make it make sense in that book. I don't know. I just think it's a stupid decision. But it has nothing to do with is nothing to do with racism. But I thought it was odd, but his aggressive reaction, I think he was just trying to be like this like, I am going to declare that I am not racist. And that's great because that's standard. I think every decent human being, that should be the being not racist should be the standard for being a decent human being in 2023. That's like a given. Like, you shouldn't have to say I'm not racist. Like, that should be standard for everybody. There are horrible things that happen for a lot of there's a horrible thing in the news today that's just disgusting and horrific. So people will do awful things. People there are a lot of people that fall short of that decency. Um, but the vast majority of us, like, it's not like Travis was hit with a flood of emails from people with clan titles next to their email signatures. It's like he had one email and he had to react and spank everybody and make a statement that he's not going to stand for this. Well, nobody needed that white savior. Let me just say that. Like, spare us. Okay. It was stupid. I think it was a bad decision, but I respect your decision, as far as that goes. But I don't respect this whole spanking everybody because you don't like the implications that you've actually unpacked yourself from the email. I can only say that because you didn't share the email. So I look white, but I'm Mexican. Can I chime in? Yes, you all can chime in. I'm all out of chimes. Everybody can chime in. Everybody can say what they think, even if you disagree with me, because you can. I'm not going to call you a racist if you disagree with me, unless you're a racist. But I hope you're not. I don't think you'd be watching this if you were. I'm sorry, Mitch. I had to come after your boy. It's even less than a movie versus book debate. I didn't even know there was a movie. Oh, wow. That's funny. Did you read the book? So I figured it was just artistic liberty by the artist. I'm sure I'm not the only one who didn't know there's a film. Leaves people like me just confused. Wow. Well, that's a perfect case study because in my little rant that I wrote, I said, if I came into this book blind, not knowing anything, that there was a movie and not having read the book either, and then I started reading the book, I'd be like, well, who's on the cover? When do we get to meet her? Well, who's this in this picture? Because she's in the book throughout. Well, who's that? Obviously. And you know what? I didn't read the book. Maybe there's language in the book that opens it up to interpretation and says, all right, well, this character may be black. Maybe. I don't know. I didn't read it. I just don't appreciate the spanking unless you pay me first. Got to make money somehow. Well, I'm just being an ass. I thought it was a dumb email and it wasn't buying the book or going to watch the movie. So it don't matter anyways. So I don't matter anyways. I saw some of the movie. And the funny thing is I saw some of the movie. I didn't watch the whole thing because my time is limited. So is my attention span. And it was a great movie from what I saw. I don't think I saw the whole thing. The actor was brilliant. She was great. So when I saw that cover, I didn't know that the book had a different flavor until he wrote that email. But so I did see the movie, and it was good. It's a very original movie. Reminded me a little bit now that I saw The Last of Us, the idea of a zombie who's not murdering people, like, or somebody who's infected that doesn't exhibit the infection. Except in The Girl with All the Gifts, I think she still has appetites. I'm 9 minutes behind on the live. I love the book Girl with All the Gifts. I didn't get an email to order. Oh, well, I'll link to it. If you want it, go get it. So yeah, I think everyone can chime in. I'm just not in the mood for a room full of middle-aged white dudes and a baby talking about racism. Well, I would say I am a race, so I have a spot at the table to talk about it, especially if I'm being spanked indirectly. And that's the very problem, Stephen Dwayne Allison Jr. If you shut down conversation, if you say, I don't have a right to have this discussion, where does that leave us? And I think it's happening way too much. Now, if Travis shared that email and it was clearly racist, all right. I mean, there are some pig animal scumbags that would, I'm not getting a book with a beep on the cover. I mean, yeah. I could see that, and that guy deserves to be shunned and outed and whatever. Sure, you know. But I think people are seeing too many evils in other people without ever questioning what they're really seeing. And that's happened forever, but it's it's different now. It seems to be justified, and I don't get that. I was always raised to be tolerant of other opinions and to debate, but now we are getting to a point where you don't debate and you just vilify and banish. So, anyway, I was actually too sick to rant, and I did it anyway. Who you calling middle aged? I read the book, but it didn't remember the race of the protagonist, so the cover didn't register. See, and that's valid. Um, I did read the book, so knew the protagonist was white, very pale, but with no film context, the cover made no sense. So, okay, so you can be a black person and be pale, right? You especially if you're a zombie and doesn't have any blood. So is there language in the book that opens it up to interpretation? But otherwise, if you do something purposefully that creates confusion, why? It just doesn't seem to make any sense. Who are you calling a baby? I'm a toddler. I'm an old white dude. Yeah, so there's middle age, there's old. I thought the character was only described as being very pale. See? See, now there's room. But no, Mitch's boy, Travis, would rather just be mad at somebody instead of like if the case was that this person, I've heard it's up for interpretation. Well, then why didn't Travis say our interpretation of the language the author used matched what the people cast for the movie? So we don't see any cognitive dissonance. There you go. This person's having a problem that they don't need to have. They can still enjoy the book. This art is still faithful to the book, and there you go. But he didn't say that. He said the character is white and the art is of a black girl. So she's an undead Antifa member. Maybe. I don't know what her political affiliations are. See, that's the other thing. I don't assume political affiliations based on race. So I don't know. What do zombies belong to? What do vampires belong? I don't know. Mitch, we are testing the medicinal properties. Anyway, this is a bummer of a rant. It really is. It's I'm hearing myself go on about it. So there's another controversy in the horror community. Oh, I want to hear that. Please go. I just, you know what? Wait, what's the beverage? Oh man, you know it's beers in the valley, Mitch. You know it's beers in the valley. I just don't want to get an email from somebody without who's vilifying people. That's all. Yes, Hans, spill the tea. Please do so. I only have a couple other things to talk about tonight concerning an indie author who got a 1-star review claiming he wrote female character. So you're talking about Matt Shaw. I saw that. Okay, so talk about self-immolation. Matt Shaw and Haley Hughes. That was and his response about that. Yeah. That was self-immolation. Like you got a bad review and then you go after the reviewer? No. No, and then you dedicate a book to her? No. No, especially Matt Shaw who's like famous for his super provocative titles and his shock, the way he goes after the shock value. It's absolutely ridiculous how he reacted. Now, I don't know if he had a valid pushback. I don't know any of that, but his reaction erased any legitimacy he had, I think. What is the ABV on Beers in the Valley? I think it's like 6 point something, 6.2. In books of horror, we have been struggling to keep it out of the group. Why? Why? I read all that on X. It was very childish response to the review. Yeah, he didn't have to do that. If it was fictitious, I would have laughed because some of the stuff he wrote was so outrageous, it was funny. But knowing it was aimed at a person who gave you a bad review, again, dispute her on her on the face of her. I wrote a bad review of the one who was with me, and Conrad Williams, who's the author, responded to that, and he's like, "Thank you for your honest review. Sorry, my book didn't connect with you. Cheers." And I'm like, "Wow, that guy's a class act." You know, to respond to a negative review and be such a such a generous, thoughtful person is great. Matt Shaw went completely the other way. And it's it's unfortunate. Like, did he not ever get, oh, because Matt is in the indie brawl? Okay, well, Hans, I think then you have even more of a reason to highlight Matt. Because, I like to separate the authors from their work, and the work should be judged by the work. But in some cases, um, for example, I think maybe women need to know what this guy's like. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you should keep it out. I think I see how you should maybe not keep it from dominating every thread, but I don't think it's good to keep it out. Actually, I'm coming around. Like, I think you need to put it in there. That's just my opinion, Hans. Not an admin of your group. I'm not telling you what to do, just sharing my opinion. I think people should know what Matt Shaw said, or should be aware of it, and they could just read it themselves and come to their own conclusions, of course, because people are not. There are women that are defending Matt Shaw. Because again, you can't have a difference of opinion. I happen to think he's wrong, but dang, this live reset to the beginning for me. Oh, sorry, Christopher. I don't know why that would have happened. Probably because I'm getting canceled or shut down because I'm taking on political issues tonight, or at least culture wars. I don't know what you want to file it under, but at least you could see my range. I think Travis made a stupid decision and then doubled down on it. And I think Matt Shaw made a stupid decision and doubled down on it. And you could look at those people from different sides of the spectrum as far as like sensitivity. But I think they were both wrong. So I don't know. I hope it didn't reset for everybody else because I wouldn't have the wherewithal to sit and watch the rest after you just saw a half hour of it. So yeah. So Hans, I don't know what you think of what I said, but I think you should allow some discussion or at least link to it somehow. I remember hearing about Josh Malerman's girlfriend, now wife, being on Some Folks Harshly, who left bad reviews for some novel he wrote. Yep. It's never a good look. Don't believe she's done that since. No, you're right. Allison, his wife, she was his special lady friend, but I think they're married now. I know she's at least his fiance, but I think they're married. Quote me if I'm wrong. But yeah, she was going after people. I think it was after Bird Box. It might have been Unbury Carol, where somebody wrote a bad review of that, and she came for them, and everybody's like, "Hold up, that's not cool." I think if you fast forward all the way to the right, it will be alive. Fiance. Okay. So yeah, and her points in that feedback were something like, "You're messing with Josh's livelihood." It's an art. You're gonna have different people react different ways. You can't say it's my livelihood. Like if a plumber, okay, well, plumber would be more objective. Art is definitely more subjective. But if a plumber came in and didn't do the good job and your bathroom flooded and the floor fell, you can't say, well, don't leave a bad review because they're going to mess with his livelihood. But again, that's objective. I mean, you can't do that. You can't say no bad reviews because these authors need to eat. The authors do, but some authors don't need to be authors. Billy Chismar, you know, Richard Chismar. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's okay when I go after Richard Chismar, but I can't go after Travis Dunn. Okay. Okay. Oh, ooh, I'm dying. Talking about a plumber right now? Yeah, I don't know. You know, once I hit start live, I mean, I have notes. I mean, seriously, that Midworld rant in my head was like fiery. It was all fire. Same goes for publishers. Right. You should be able to leave a bad review of anything you don't like and not be called racist. When a plumber does shitty work, he should get a bad review. Yeah. Well, like I said, anybody who does something like if you're reading a book, you don't like shitty reviews, try harder, do better. Exactly. Or but it's so subjective that a bad review from me might be a 5-star review from somebody else. And you have to, as a reader, go through the reviews and say, all right, well, this guy sounds like an asshole. So his objections to this book are not ones I think I would have. So I'm going to go read it anyway. But a plumber, yeah, this guy messed up my whole bathroom. And then the plumber responds with kiss my ass. Then, yeah, then you know you don't hire that plumber. Even Stephen King has had his share of bad reviews. If you go to Scully's here. Hey, Scully. Hey, Phil. So plumbers shouldn't fix toilets. What was I going to say? If you go to The Road by Cormac McCarthy, which is a book in its perfect state, that is the perfect book, most perfect book ever written, in my opinion, from what I've read. He'll get bad reviews. Cormac McCarthy gets bad reviews. Everybody gets bad. It's not gonna hit the same with everybody. Subjective. I think Clive Barker is a great author and an awful artist. Just my opinion. See, now you're saying evil, Eye of Manos. Now you're speaking evil. He's a great author and a great artist. See? He's a brilliant author. Stephen King's a brilliant storyteller. Clive Barker is a brilliant author. My voice is going to crack like Peter Brady all night, so I was hoping to power through, but I'm running out of steam. You sound a little hoarse, Jeff. If under the weather, I hope you feel better soon. Yeah, I was Saturday and Sunday, I was just dead. Dead. And then I had a work meeting this morning, so I had to shower. The Road, boring. No, Mark. No. No. Yeah, my knee it wasn't my knee, it was my crotch, Stephen Dwayne Allison Jr. It was my crotch. Yeah. Yeah. You got that in your mind now. All right. McCarthy rocks. He's brilliant. Brilliant. The Road was not boring. Them's fighting words. Totally. Couldn't get into it. I'll try again. No, that's okay. Here's the deal, guys. Rapture has gotten bad reviews on Untapped before. Shocking. I know. I still have nightmares. Mitch, you don't need to tell us that. Because now we're aware you've gotten bad reviews. So now we're going to drink and we're going to go, really? What? Why did this get bad reviews? Is that why? See, you planted the seed, man. I narrated The Road screenplay. I know. You're a brilliant voice, Scully. You're a brilliant voice. If it makes you feel any better, Mitch, I don't even visit Untapped. Beer Advocate is the way to go. Okay, now Mitch, I got to know what were the bad reviews? Were they awful or were they just I didn't like it. Not for me. Or was it this stuff tastes like bile? Mitch, Peter Brady was a character in the show called The Brady Bunch. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, there was an episode where his voice was breaking. It was a thing. It was a thing to talk about. Yeah. So thank you, Peter. I need to consider my audience, and Mitch, being 18 months old, more than likely never saw The Brady Bunch. I don't know why it got less views than other. Really? It got less? Huh. Well, everybody go watch Scully's reading narration of The Road. The only bad review for Rapture is that it's not my local distributor. Yes, Phil, if it would have had it on tap at that brewery we were at, that would have been epic, wouldn't it? We had a stout that day. Just wasn't a Rapture stout. I only get bad reviews from dummies, from dumb heads, right? I don't blame you. Mitch, this voice is gravelly. And you could see, I don't know if you could tell, my nose is all red. And what is this lighting? I look like I'm in Paranormal Activity 5. The grainy, low res, whatever. This live stream's going down in infamy. In infamy. Man, I gotta wrap this up. No centipede this week. Bummer. Yes. But Ron has a really interesting trade going on for oh no, I'm sorry, you don't anymore. Oh man, I was bummed, Ron, when I saw you were gonna have a trade with somebody. Somebody's trading a full size Haunting of Hill House for one of the smaller sized ones. But the full sized one doesn't have the slipcase. And he was gonna do an even trade, and everybody's like, dude, that's so lopsided. That's a $600 book to a $100 book. And the guy's like, yeah, I don't have the slipcase. I bought it at a great deal, and I just want the smaller one so they all match on my shelf. So Ron was going to trade with this dude. And then Ron, when he was looking at his copy of the smaller one, saw some imperfections, and that blew the deal. I felt so bad for you, Ron. But you know what? You're so honest. That was really great. You know, that's the best this is the best community out there, right? That's why I don't need Travis to spank me. This is the best community out there. And I would think that more often than not, people are going to be very honest. Most low ratings don't give notes, but some I get are someone saying, I don't like sours, 2 stars. Well, then why'd you drink it? I don't like sours, 2 stars. Well, then why are you drinking and then rating a sour? Wow, people are so stupid. Thank you, Scully. I love my bookshelves. I was a little surprised by that. Usually Jared gives a heads up that there'll be no email. Yeah, I hope he's okay. You know what's good for a froggy throat? Beers in the Valley. Yes, that's exactly what's in here. Let's give it a try. Oh, I don't like sours. Let's start a Kickstarter for Mitch to do a cross-country tour on his big wheels. And then, yes, he could dress like Danny Torrance riding around. I know he had discussed only doing one at the beginning of the month. Oh, okay. So Jared gave notice. So I had ordered, we had always lived in the castle from Folio, only to have the Shadow of the Wind delivered instead. That's crazy. Was going to send it back, but started to really like the book. Wow. So you then just bought another copy, right? Of We Have Always Lived in the Castle. Wow. Christopher, what you should do is complain real loud. Say, what the hell, man? What the hell? Why didn't I get my We Have Always Lived and make a big stink? And they would probably say, just keep that book and we'll send you another one right away. And then you got both of them. A beer and a quaalude. Do people still do quaaludes? I haven't seen that word. I know Mitch has never seen that word. I've never seen that. I haven't seen that word in a long time. Quaaludes. So then You bought the Centipede Press instead. So that's what people. I'm guessing then you just reordered it. Yep, silly me. The name of the win summary looks a lot like Club Dumas type book. Give me a Quaalude, and I will definitely do it. I don't even know what a Quaalude is. It's like a painkiller. Is that what it is? I don't even know what they were. What you go down to Columbia to get them? It's a downer. Yeah, so it's like a painkiller. It's a depressant. Did you get the email to prepare for Fawn by Joe Hill, Conversation Tree Press for like 30 pages? Oh, $225 for 30 pages. I will not be purchasing the book. Well, but the thing is, like, with people said the same thing for the lottery when Suntup did the lottery. It's a short story made into a book, and it was very expensive, and it was mold made paper, letterpress, loaded with art from Shirley Jackson's grandson. So it's crazy, but the precedent's been set, and Fawn looks beautiful. But yeah, I'm not going to get any. I'm not getting it. They are my sedatives. It's an excellent novel, too, incidentally. The whole series is great. Easy pass on Fawn. Yeah. No, I'm not interested at all. None whatsoever. If you guys want to, please, I'm going to do another commercial for my newsletter. Please subscribe to my newsletter, and you'll get more coherent thoughts than what you get here. I kind of promise. I kind of sort of. Anybody see that 11,000 plus book from Grim Oak, some fantasy trilogy? I think that's the most expensive new offering I've seen in 35 years of collecting. I thought that $11,000 was a Roman numeral for the blade itself, or something from Curious King. I've been sub, but haven't been sent anything yet. No, yeah, the first one goes out this Sunday, Ronan. So don't worry about it. Good to see you, Ronan. I thought it was Curious King that did that. Yeah, it was like the Roman numeral edition, I thought, or it might have been like all of the blade. It's the first law, or all of N.K. Jemison's books, something like that. The Broken Earth trilogy. Something like that. I don't recall, because yeah, you see $11,000 and you're like, what am I, Hunter Biden? I can't do this. The Roman numeral for Fawn is 7,000. Are you kidding? The Roman numeral for Fawn, a short story. Oh my God, I am gobsmacked. Wow. Wow. Wow, that is crazy. See, now that's a bridge too far. Like, who's going to buy that? I mean, Roman numeral, so maybe just 5 copies. Maybe 10. Found the email. Roman numeral lottery for 5th season. The 5th season was 11-2. Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, Curious King. But at least that's a book. You're getting Fawn, which is 30 pages for $7K. Well, I'm sure the $7K for Fawn is well worth it. The publisher is long-standing and well-known. That's funny. That's funny, Joshua. Wow. That's funny, because Conversation Tree Press has, I don't know if they've even published their first book yet. I don't know if that's out, Peter Pan. And the numbered edition isn't sold out. So I just keep hoping Jared eventually would do more Wolf beyond Book of the New Sun. Well, Gene Wolfe, somebody mentioned Subpress. Sub Press announced a book today from Alex Harrow, and I wanted to look up Alex and see what she was about because I never saw that name before. And apparently she's a genius. She's a bona fide genius. Like graduated with a master's degree in 3 years at the age of 19 or something. I don't know. She's a genius. So that's your little fact. If you want to buy a book or two from a genius from Sub Press, inflated cost for lower deliverable. I just keep okay. 11,000 is a lot of faith in a press with what? 10 printed editions of one book? Yeah. It's tough because a long time ago, Anthony K did a giveaway on my channel for the standard edition of the blade itself. I don't even remember when that was. There was a winner picked and everything. That was like 2 years ago. I don't know how long ago it was. Okay. Curious King's Roman was in pounds, not dollars. Well, that changes things. It's even more expensive. It is, but I think there will be no more pre-orders until Blade itself ships. Yeah, I think he's trying to do the same thing that who was doing. Not doing any more pre-order. Well, Cemetery Dance said that's what they were going to do. Oh, don't get me started on Cemetery Dance. They did a live broadcast. If they do a live broadcast, don't go right away. Wait until it's like a half hour into it because they're going to test all their equipment for a half hour, 45 minutes. And it's going to be super frustrating to watch. Like me going to adjust my lights in the middle of the broadcast. So actually it's $79.95. Is that the fawn Roman numeral? That's crazy. That's 8,000. Wow. For fawn. Now that better be printed with Joe Hill's blood. I don't want to be sick or anything, but it's got to be worth $8,000 for a short story that I have on my shelf right now in 2 books, 2 separate editions without even trying, really. One of them is a signed trade edition, inscribed to me. Handmade paper. And remember, this is the second installment of books they've done. The only other book they have done is Peter Pan. And I don't think that's sold out. I know it didn't sell out, but I don't think it got published yet. I don't think anybody actually has copies yet. Now, speaking of a great publisher who actually publishes the books they promise to publish and then doesn't shame people for having questions, Levidian. If you guys, take it easy, Scully, take it easy. So they're basically a nobody working to be a somebody. Yeah, you got to start somewhere. Only interested on the weird series. Yeah. 11,000 in Great Britain pound sterling is 14,000 USD. The Levidian gave a sneak peek at a new title. If you are not a Patreon supporter or you didn't get the email, then I obviously can't tell you. But let me just say, the book they have coming, the way they do the die cut on the slipcase is awesome. Like, that is the way to do it. Because a lot of times, Levidian does that die cut on the slipcase, which I personally don't think it adds anything. Maybe I'm a racist, but I don't think it adds anything to that. But sure, it's your creative decision. This time it does, totally, in my opinion. I'm actually a big fan of Wraith Marked Creative. They make good books and do the money through Kickstarter. Well, let's mark that down, everybody. Wraith Marked Creative. Sounds cool. Did Levidian Press ever do Swan Song? No. Ronan, you have to go to well, I'm gonna show you now. Yeah, make sure there's no plumber's crack. Um Here we are. Oh god. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my gosh. Was there a plumber's crack? I don't know. Not a racist, but a slipcasist. Maybe. Maybe. Subpress did Swan Song. And here it is. I'm sorry, the quality of this lighting is awful. Hold please. Still awful. Okay. So there it is. There it is. Swan Song. Subpress. Signed. This was limited to like 500 copies. Signed by Robert McCammon. And I believe it was the last book, the last McCammon that Subpress did. And then all that work went over to Cemetery Dance for the limited editions, and then it went over to Levidian. But this is a gorgeous book, and I'm actually going to read it very soon. How much did that set you back? 150. So I bought it when it was new. Now, at the time this book came out, they were selling the lettered edition for $400. And at that time, I'm like, okay, not made of money here. Now, this is before Suntop. I'll stick with the numbered. Oh my God, I wish I had gotten that lettered. It's one of my favorite books. And that lettered, I think you could sell. I don't know what this is going for now. The Dark Harvest Swan Song gets a lot of money. I don't know if this gets as much, but I paid 150. I'm sure I could sell it for 300. I wish I'd bought that lettered because for a while the numbered was selling for 400. The lady looked zombie-ish to me. Yeah, on the cover, totally. It was really disappointed by the art in the folio edition of the Wolf books. I'll keep them though, since it was one of the last things he signed. Man. Yeah, it's awesome. Swan Song would cost you about 500. Oh, $500 now, huh? I actually thought Weber's work was pretty cool. What did you not care for? Yeah, Sam Weber does great work. He did a Bradbury. I think he did Fahrenheit 451 for this is gonna just get me so mad. Yeah, I think the real deal is I'm not going to go that long tonight because I'm having all kinds of issues. But just read Swan Song a few months ago. I don't have any super special edition though. Well, there are the Dark Harvest one that was a publisher that's now defunct, and then the Subpress, and that's it. That's all you got because it originally came out as a. You just got to take my word for it. Paperback. I have the first edition paperback signed by McCammon. So, wow, letter would have been so good for the 400, and that was such a steal. Yeah, it was. I must admit, I don't collect folio books as I find their designs to be hit and miss. Yeah. Better get in now before it's too late. Huzzah, producer Jill. Oh, David, you paid 500, huh? Wow. Asking the chat, any clue to the value for Subpress's Boy's Life? Boy's Life. Ronan, I don't know where you are in the world, but you could check out Robert McCammon in Alabama in October. So just 2 months away. The only folio I have is I Am Legend. It is amazing, and he only has it because he won it here. Right, Mitch? Right? You won it here. Wisconsin, but Robert is worth traveling. Yeah, you got to go to Birmingham, Alabama to check it out. He's going to do an appearance on the 28th of October for his new book, Seven Shades of Evil. So I'll be there. I bet you It's Terrific will be there too. What else did I have to talk about tonight? Oh, thank you for getting me to bring my swan song down. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. I bought 2 of them. Wait, you bought 2 of Boy's Life? What? Wow, I would be able to shake your hand too. Well, yeah, you can, but that shouldn't, I'm not worth the gas, the gas money you would pay to drive down. Do it for McCammon, for sure. The new book. Oh, you bought 2 of them. Yeah, you have to buy. So I bought the limited edition. Well, I actually didn't buy it yet because Levidian didn't charge for it. But you buy the limited edition through Levidian, and then you have to buy the book to attend the event in Birmingham. So, yeah, I bought one to go to the event. So I'm going to have a signed trade and then the limited edition. Nice, David. Oh, that's great. I'd love to see you there. You're just a benefit secondary. I'm interested to hear guesses on the teased Levidian. I have no idea, man. And I think that tease was for the author. He published in an anthology, but never as a standalone. And this person is a longtime New York Times bestseller. Where can I find the signing by Robert? Is it on his website? It's at the Alabama Booksmith. So let me see. So just go here. There's a link. Go there, go to events, and you'll be able to buy the book and register for the event. You could go to the signing without buying a book, but to hear Robert McCammon talk, you have to get a book. And I went last time for King of Shadows. He's a great guy. He's just a warm, caring, great human being. So, yeah. Biggest issue was with the book covers, and the inside work just didn't seem to fit my vision of the books. Being a fan of Salvador Dali, I know art is very subjective. All right, Lance, did you hear my first rant of the whole video? Exactly. It doesn't match what you think of the book. You're not going to like it. So I think it's a legitimate response. A totally legitimate response that caused everybody to be shamed. Is Robert speaking spoiler or not spoiler? So when he'll read part of the new book probably, because that's what he did last time. So yeah, you're going to get some things that you might not want, and then people ask questions. He's probably not going to spoil the current book, right? The current book is still going to be largely unexplored. He might read a passage from it, but it's not going to give away anything huge. But he may spoil things in the series because it's a collection of short stories. set in the Matthew Corbett series of 8 books, going to be 9 books. So I didn't love the El Zabo interpretation, but I like pretty much the rest. He stated that he has published him before and it's a pseudonym, so kind of narrows it down. Oh, yeah, somebody was saying Scott Carson then. Not Corrida again. You know what I saw? I saw a commercial. I saw the trailer for Those Who Wish Me Dead. It looked really good. I read that book. I really liked it. Those Who Wish Me Dead. And the movie stars Angelina Jolie. And it looked good. It looked faithful to the book. I'd have to see it to know otherwise. Many of the short stories involve side characters, so may not spoil much. However, there is at least one Matthew Corbett-centered story. So reader beware. I'm going to read them all in order anyway. I am going to read. Oh, check this out. A little bit of show and tell. I picked this up at McKay's, so I'm going to be reading this soon. I picked this copy up for my brother-in-law so he could read it. He's a new converted McCammon fan. He's actually currently reading Swan Song. So I haven't read anything beyond Speaks a Nightbird, so I'm going to start reading this before I go in October. Jolie wows absurd as a female firefighter. She looks like a supermodel trying to go camping. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. Is it appropriate to bring my other McCammon books that he can sign? Yes. Queen of Bedlam is solid. So, not great, huh? I heard it was really good. Solid, I take as like it just standard, just meeting the very basic criteria for a fun read, but not like, oh, this is the best in the. By solid, I mean really good. Oh, okay. Yes, you can bring other books. I brought a stack for McCammon to sign the last time I went. I'm going to get him to sign all my Levidian paperbacks when I go in October. Sorry, I'm guilty of understatement. Yeah, it's terrific. Almost needed a wheelbarrow for all his books he brought to get signed. I know. He brought Tim from It's Terrific is like a professional wrestler. He's huge, right? He's like, and he picked up all his books. And it's like a mortal man wouldn't have been able to lift the package that he brought in. But he's like Hercules. So we all had to wait for him. Because McCammon also isn't going to say no to Tim. He's looking at him like, I better sign these. You want me to sign this Stephen King book? Fine, I'll sign it. Whatever. Just don't hurt me. I really like McCammon's I Travel by Night and Last Train from Perdition. I didn't read those. That's the... Oh... It's a different character. Travis something. Not Travis Dunn. He's the race shamer. I forgot, but yeah, that's like a vampire. No, I'm 47 minutes behind. And thank you, Jeff. I'm luckily not on Maui, but definitely feeling the impact. I'm so sorry. That is absolutely awful. What's going on there? Oh. But yeah, so I brought in a few books. I brought in my the paperback copy of Swan Song I had when I was 15, and I still have it. And he signed that. It meant a lot. And then I brought in a stack. But I also, when I went to McKay's, I got this because Hans's group won't shut up about this book. And I'm like, all right, I'll read it. What are you kids going to do to this old man? So I got this. Suffer. The only way I'll suffer is if it's a bad book. Oh my God, Womb is so good. The only way I'll suffer is if it's poorly written or There's no real point to it. I don't know. But then I got this. Look at this book. Raw Pain Max by Dean Anderson. Can you look at this book and tell me you wouldn't buy it? Who would not buy this book? And you know what? It was 90 cents. This book was 90 cents. I had to buy it. Raw Pain Max. Couple other things. Her arm looks very long. She is going to hurt you, I think. All right. Good night, Ronan. I'll see you next week. I would not have bought that book. I mean, 90 cents, Jason. 90 cents. Raw Pain Max. Reading Butcher Boy right now and really digging the prose style. Not very far in. Oh, I love that book. I mean, I know you all know, but I'm glad you're reading it. I hope you like it. And if you're not far in, you're liking it, you're gonna like it even more, I think, as it goes. Pig toll tax, Peter. The pig toll tax. I also got this because I don't have a copy of Dead Speak. I don't know why I left the sticker on, but it's Brian Lumley's third book, fourth book in the Necroscope series, and I didn't have it because the one I had was damaged in a flood. So finally, I'm completing that. Oh, yes, look at Ron knows because it's not just Dean Anderson, it's C. Dean Anderson, who has passed away. I looked him up. Is, believe it or not a bad writer. Not great, but you've read worse, Jeff. I'm sure I have. I've read Chismar. One Woman Army. I'm glad you like it, Mitch. I'm glad you liked it. You went to McKay's tonight while I cleared you out. Check this out, David. Don't be mad at me, Melchowski. Please don't be mad at me. Because they also, oh shit, I'm going to cover up what I paid. They also had this. Do you guys recognize this? Palmetto by Anya Allborn. You know why I'm covering up the price? Because I'm going to sell this on eBay. It is the signed Thunderstorm paperback that was given out with the Nightworms bundle. And so it was a steal. And I had to buy it. I had to get it. And I'm going to turn around and sell it. I'm shameless. Yeah, I sold that shiz for 50 or 70. Yeah, I saw on eBay that this was getting, and that's what I'm going to go for on eBay. I'm not gonna share what I paid. I'm not gonna share that. It was at McKay's, so they obviously did not know what they had. Hot dog. I will cover the coat. Paperback Palmetto was $50 with the rest of the Nightworms. Use the money to buy more Fracassi. Probably going to use the money to buy more electricity. Harvey, you call that shameless? Meanwhile, Shizmar out here selling his own arcs for hundreds. I know. Harry, good to see you. Good, Harvey. Harvey Swick is here. It's a new name. Yeah, I know. It's not really shameless, but it is flipper behavior. But I bought this and I'm going to sell it on eBay, see what I can get for it. And yeah, nothing. I can't possibly limbo under the low bar Richard Chismar has set for human behavior. Can't possibly. You can't go any lower than him. Anyway, I'm going to call it a night, man. It's getting harder to breathe. I kind of need to breathe. I thought this would heal me, Mitch. Sell your Palmetto in my books of horror. People got in search ofs for that in there. Okay. Maybe I will. So I'm gonna work on Drawn Breath. And I'm gonna work on being a better human for Travis's sake. And dare not object to any art decision he makes for any reason at all. That's fine. I'm going to accept whatever you say because I don't want to be shamed and vilified and thrown in the dumpster heap of history. So thank you for educating me, Travis. So if you want to see the thoughtful rant as written form with arguments made in a linear fashion, subscribe to my newsletter and I'll have more rants after that. And then whatever else comes after that, I don't know. I don't plan the future. I just live today, you know. So I will see you around, John. I'm going to see Mr. Fracassi tomorrow night. Yes, go do it. Go see him. Fracassi's an awesome guy. He's not just a brilliant writer, right? He's not just a brilliant author. He's a great human being. Go check him out if you have the opportunity. I swear later on in life, it's going to be Fracassi's going to be harder to get a hold of. So thanks for hosting, powering through. Hope you're on the mend. Yeah, so do I. Have fun, John. Wish I could be there to see Philip too. I wish you could. So I will see you all. Yes. Have a great Labor Day. I will probably be back on Labor Day. I don't know. I don't take Mondays off. I'm a corpse tonight and I'm still here. Barely in my faculties. You know what I'm saying? So thank you all for being here. Later, alligators, says the guy who's not a hater. I don't know. I was going to talk about Animal Farm and all that other stuff, but geez, I'm just running out of steam. So I will see you all in a week. And until then, be good to each other. I don't have to tell you guys, you're all good to each other, but be good. It's a stupid world out there. Be good to one another. Just do that. Just please do that.